What's up? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on IENetwork, and this is the Heaven Hollywood Report. And let's get to it. Shout out to my sponsor. In case you didn't know, that's icydk.blog. It's icydk.blog. So, I want to talk in this segment about this rumor going around that Cardi B is having issues with Atlantic Records. Now, the reason why I have all 5 of these people's picture up is because it could play a part. Of course, it's not the main reason why. But for recent issues, it could be a reason why Atlantic Records has an issue with Cardi B. All right, now, let us just start from the beginning. Atlantic Records, Cardi B is one of the main artists. She is, I would say the top 1 or 2 hip-hop artists on the label. Probably top 1 because she's the mainstream artist. She's probably the top hip-hop artist on the label. All right? Cardi B reports to Landra Gabba or Mike Kaiser. It used to be Landra first, and she reported to Mike Kaiser. But I think Landra got a promotion, I believe. So I believe her and Mike Kaiser are kind of like equal. And Mike Kaiser reports to, Craig and Julie Greenwald. All right, those are the 2 bosses. So that's how the ladder goes. So just keep that in mind. So Cardi B has had a very good relationship with Mike Kaiser. Okay, it was a little shaky around the time when Cardi wanted to renegotiate her contract. Okay. Now, a lot of people was sending me to the website, in case you didn't know, and they posted a story a couple of days ago about, is Atlantic Records done with Cardi B? In that post, they brought up that Atlantic, they didn't say most definitely, but they said allegedly, from what they was told, that Atlantic had an issue with Cardi B getting pregnant the second time. And it's slowing down the rollout of her second album and push back tours. And it just made things a little more difficult, put more things on hold. And on top of that, with the pandemic. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because this is what the talk was. Now, I'm not really going to focus on that because I haven't confirmed any of that. Anyone that follows any of my lives know that issue goes back to Lauryn Hill. So I know definitely those issues exist. Labels, especially if you're not at the peak or have reached your peak yet, they do not really agree with young artists getting pregnant and having kids. It messes up, to them. It means you're going to be. You have to think about it. When you're pregnant, right? You might as well say you're going to be out of commission for 2 years. Because it takes you 9 months to have the kid. You're not really going to be doing much after about the 5th month. It takes you 9 months to have a kid. Right? That's almost a year. It takes you 3 to 4 months to recover. So that's a full year. And then the first year of your baby, who's going to really want to leave? Right? So you're pretty much looking at 2 years. Cardi's now been pregnant twice. So you're talking about, even though Culture, her first child, didn't seem to affect her career as much. But when she got pregnant the second time, it seems to have a little bit more effect on her career. All right? So, that's just an opinion. They can check the numbers. Only Atlantic and Cardi B knows for a fact. But however, the recent issues is what I want to concentrate more on. Cardi B has a new record out. Hot-ish. On that record is Kanye West. On that record is Lil Durk. I didn't include Kanye's picture in this because I don't really think Kanye is really relevant in this conversation. NBA YoungBoy, okay, is also on Atlantic. NBA YoungBoy reports to Lamra. All right. Julie doesn't really have too much dealing with NBA YoungBoy. Now remember, NBA YoungBoy also gets counseling counsel from Birdman, because I guess he is signed to Birdman, or Birdman is manages his career or production or whatever. Okay, I believe he's signed under Birdman. So Birdman is kind of in his ear. Now, this recent record with Cardi B features Lil Durk, who is actively beefing with NBA YoungBoy. Now, NBA YoungBoy had a very public battle with Atlantic Records over this past year or two. He came out on DJ Academics and told Atlantic he was not re-signing with them. He's had beef with Atlantic about his contract, about his royalties, about his masters. He's had issue with YouTube. Said he wanted to shut down his reactor videos or reactors from reacting to his video. All right. NBA YoungBoy, back in, I believe it was March of 2022. At that point in time, only Drake had more streams than NBA YoungBoy in 2022. I don't know what the numbers look like now, but only a few months ago, only person that had more streams than him was Drake. Because NBA YoungBoy has a relationship with Birdman, he was able to secure or work out a feature not long ago with Nicki Minaj. I believe Nicki was pregnant at that time. So he was able to work out a feature with Nicki Minaj. He has a good relationship with Nicki Minaj. Of course, like everyone, he had a crush on Nicki Minaj, but who didn't? At the same time, NBA YoungBoy is very cool with Offset. Offset, because NBA and Cardi are label mates, was trying to get a collaboration, trying to work out behind the scenes, possibly a collaboration with Cardi and NBA. They was going to work out the splits or what have you behind the scene, and then she was going to take it to Atlantic. But because of NBA's loyalty to Birdman, and Birdman, of course, signed Nicki Minaj. So I would believe that he did not do that collaboration. I heard about that collaboration a long time ago. And I remember thinking to myself, why isn't Cardi B and NBA YoungBoy collaborating? Like, they're like the two biggest rap artists. But it didn't dawn on me then. So, from what I was told, he asked for the collaboration. And I'm going to assume that NBA YoungBoy, because number one, we haven't seen it. I don't know for a fact that he turned it down, but I'm going to assume that he did, because he's under Birdman. He had he already had the collaboration with Nicki Minaj, and I'm going to assume that he said, nah, not right now, or he didn't want to do it. Or maybe check the Birdman and ask Birdman, would he have a problem with it? Birdman probably said, yes, I would. He didn't do it. Cardi's new record, Lil Durk, who Atlantic told her, hey, what about Lil Durk? I'm going to assume Atlantic suggested Lil Durk. Or maybe they didn't. Because if Atlantic knows that Lil Durk is beefing with YoungBoy, her team, she said her team. All right. We're not going to say who suggested Lil Durk. But Lil Durk's beefing with NBA YoungBoy. So now, in the midst of Atlantic trying to give NBA YoungBoy, Never Broke Again, what he wants to convince him to re-sign and re-up with Atlantic, Lil Durk gets on this record with Cardi B and he is blatantly throwing shots at YoungBoy. So you now have the biggest artist on Atlantic on a record, and the artist she has on the record is clearly throwing shots at YoungBoy. This ain't for them N-words in the house. This is for Glock users. Remember, YoungBoy was on house arrest. This ain't for the N-words in the house. It's for Glock users. He also said they just came outside in 2020, pulled up in that 21. I picked my side, switches fully, and I'ma die for 21. And I'm going to assume he's talking about 21 Savage at that point. Then he says, you think I'm finna leave my B for you? She F Future too. I know that Vaughn hit her. She pulled up on my in that Jimmy Choo. So I'm at that point he's talking about Future's baby mom. I'm not Future. YoungBoy's baby mama. This girl Jania, I believe. I'll tell you something. This Jania, she must be the truth. Because she got all sorts of dudes going every which way. This Jania must be the truth. But that's neither here nor there. So now he's clearly throwing shots at YoungBoy, and he's doing it on Cardi's record. Well, that's kind of like the guilty by association thing. You're letting someone throw shots at me on your record, and you're my label mate. So when she was saying technical difficulties and people not being on the same page, right? Could you have been referring to that? I'm sure Atlantic was not pleased that this guy that they're trying to convince to stay with their label, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. But in the meantime, their biggest artist is throwing shots. And I believe Atlantic was not yet on board with this record. Remember, Cardi is saying everyone liked the record, so I'm going to assume people around her. And she did say the record was old. But I'm going to assume that people around her liked the record. And she said, I'm tired of people doing things their own way. I'm tired of people not being on board. It's another. So people doing things their own way, that sounds like you're talking about management and label. But I believe, and like I said, the only thing I can confirm is that they definitely, I definitely heard talks about a possible collaboration. Like I said, they were label mates, woo. I don't know for a fact that YoungBoy turned down the record, but I'm just assuming the record never happened. And he did the record with Nicki, and he's on the Birdman. Right? Then somebody else sent me something, which was very interesting in the same thing that I was thinking. Let's see. And they said there was a rumor months ago. Offset wanted YoungBoy to work with Cardi B. And when he sent me that, I said, I was thinking the same thing. And I knew I'd heard that. And that YB turned it down because of his ties with Birdman and Nicki. Y'all keep forgetting that Fee Banks is his manager. And that he formerly managed Nicki, Drake, and Wayne way back in the day. and was working in the Young Money back in early 2010s. They said, I'm most shocked about how Cardi is allowing YoungBoy to sneak dissing on her song, though I'm guessing she low-key feels some type of way about it. He said, but the fact that Drake is mentioning YoungBoy and Jania more than Lil Tim and Quando, this is because of clout. Lil Tim and Quando have no clout whatsoever, so Dirt don't gain nothing from mentioning Quando and Lil Tim. YoungBoy, on the other hand, has more clout and is a way bigger artist. He's going to keep mentioning YoungBoy for more attention and try to level off his career by using YoungBoy for clout. Best thing for YoungBoy to do is ignore him and not let him gain any attention. So when someone then asked, well, why would YoungBoy be beefing with Cardi B or turn down a feature with his label mate? And the person responded back, and this makes sense. He said, YoungBoy don't really F with Atlantic at all. Kevin Gates and YoungBoy are label mates. They had issues. Kodak is label mates with YoungBoy. They had issues. Gucci Mane is on Atlantic. They had issues. So I don't really think YoungBoy, like I say, he doesn't really mess with Atlantic that way. Shout out to the person who sent me this, and shout out to Good Kid Mad City. To me, it makes sense as far as this latest record. As far as the post on the website, I can't confirm that. That was only my thoughts because I know how the industry feels about artists having children. So, was Atlantic mad at Cardi B for getting pregnant? Could be. I mean, it would make sense. That's the way labels move. Like I said, they were livid at Lauryn Hill when she got pregnant. And Lauryn Hill has said they tried to convince her to abort her child. And they've done that to other artists in the past. They don't like when you are heading for your peak or right at your peak. They hate for these artists to have children. So, you can give me your take on it down below. I guess time will tell how much issues she's having with Atlantic Records and if this had anything to do with it. I think it's a pretty sensible take. You can let me know in the comments what you think. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IENetwork. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.